Happy holidays and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title, I'm gonna let you guys know a little tea about the post office before you go ahead and apply. I have been a PSE, a MHA, a CCA, and a city carrier. So I have been a non-career employee and I have been a career employee. Before you go ahead and apply to the post office, hear me out, okay? If you have children, if you have a boo, if you have a side chick, a side dude, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a dog, maybe a cat, friends, if you have hobbies, if you have likes, if you go to school, if you like to have a day off, the post office is really not the job for you. If you have a doctor's appointment, if you are sick, if you just need a day off to take care of some things, if your son or your child is sick, yeah, this is not the job for you. Because why are you sick? Why is your son sick? What does that have to do with you and going to work? They do not care about your children. They do not care about you. They don't care about your hobbies. They don't care about your birthday. They do not care. Only thing the post office care about is that mail. So you can be dying, okay? So once you finish dying and that's all settled, please report back to your assigned location, okay? Because they don't care. The post office is a really toxic environment. The pay is good, and I think that's the only reason why I stayed as long as I have stayed, is because the pay is good. You get a raise like every year you get a raise. Last year MHAs was getting $687. November they just got a raise like a week ago, so they're getting $1726 I think it is now. So you do get a raise basically every year, which is great. The money is good. The money is good for the job that you are doing. The money is not good for your mental health and your physical health, okay? The money will pay the bills and some, but dealing with the toxic environment, dealing with the yelling and the screaming, and you just being literally exhausted, is not worth it. And you have to keep that in mind, especially around this time. This is holiday time, so you're a CCA, you are working maybe 12 hours a day, maybe 7 days. Oh, you can't work 7 days now. That's something though. You can't work 7 days now, so you only work 6. So maybe you're working 6 days for 12 hours. That's a lot. So be prepared to work. That's like the shift for right now. It's gonna be 6 days, 12 hours. That's the basic shift for right now because of the holiday season. These are some things that I don't like about the post office, and then I'll tell you some things that I do like about the post office. What I don't like about the post office is that they simply do not care. They pick and choose who they want to help, who they want to be there for. They tell you things last minute. They will tell you the day of, you will come into work suited and booted, and they will tell you, oh, what are you doing here? You're off today. Oh, that'd have been great to know. 2 days ago, even last night before I left here, you could have told me that I was off. That'd have been great. They like to tell you a minute before you clock out, oh no, I need you to work another 3 hours. Okay, that'd have been great to know like 2 hours ago. That'd have been great. And I had this problem all the time. Their management supervisor are supposed to let you know 2 hours before your shift ends if they need you to stay any additional time. I will literally pack my stuff and leave because you did not tell me enough time ahead for me to get things situated at home. You want to tell me 5 minutes before I clock off that you need me to stay an extra 2 hours? Okay, now that's your problem, because I needed you to tell me 2 hours ago that you needed me to stay. And you know, they'll try to write you up, go ahead and grieve it, because they cannot tell you 5 minutes, a minute, 30 minutes, an hour before it's time for you to leave that you need to stay. That's what's been said 2 hours before your shift is up. So that's another problem that I have. Supervisors think they're gods. Plant managers think they're gods. Postmasters, they think they're gods. They think they literally own you. Like, they really think they own you. They feel like if you work for the post office, you have no other job, you have no other commitment. There's nothing else that should be taking you away from the post office. They pick and choose when they want you to use your annual time. If I call out sick, or if I call out because I simply do not want to be here, I do not want you guys to absorb my energy today, and I decide to call out, they make their own decision whether or not you get paid. Forget that you have the time. Forget that you have annual leave. It's up to them to say, do I like her enough? How many times did she call out? You know, did she leave the case a mess? Like, they pick whether or not you get to use your time, which is ridiculous to me. If it's my time, then let me use my time. And for non-career employees, they like to say, oh, well, I can't pay you for 8. I can only pay you for 4, which is ridiculous, because if you have 8, and you apply 8, that's how many that should be freaking applied to you, to your time. If I have 16 hours and I want to take a day off and I apply 8 hours, why am I not getting paid for 8 hours? Because you simply don't want to do it. The supervisors, they make their own rules. Every office is different because they literally make their own rules. So what you do at one office may not be the same that you can do at another office. I've been in Bloomfield, I have been in Newark, I have been in Kearney, I have been in Georgia City, I have been in Kenilworth, I have been in North Bergen, I have been in Rutherford, I have been literally so many different stations, Linden, Livingston, Roseland. I have been to so many different stations within New Jersey, okay? Because that was my job. I would hop around. Anybody needed help, I would go there. That was my job. I love doing that. Every station is different. I think the most peaceful, calm station was in Kenilworth. And it's a really small station. I think they only have like 6 routes. It was so nice and quiet that I literally thought I was in the wrong. Like, I was like, is the office open today? Like, that's how quiet it was. I'm like, do people work here? Why is it so quiet? Versus my office, when it's like 30 freaking routes and it's all these people, and the postmaster, all you do is scream all day long. It's just chaos. What I do like about the post office is that you do get good pay, you get the raises, you do have awesome benefits, you do. And you know, you're guaranteed in a way 40 hours a week. You're kind of guaranteed because of the volume of the mail. Like, you know, it's holiday time, and then you got Amazon, you got UPS, you got FedEx. All like most of those packages come through the post office. So you have to work. You know what I'm saying? The work is there. So that's why I do love about the post office. You're never going to be like, oh, I only work 12 hours this week. Unless you work at the plant. That can be a thing. If you're an MHA or a PSE and you work at the plant, that can be a thing where they send you home. But in my experience, I always worked 40 hours or more in a week. So I really never had that experience, but I know that is a thing. They will send the PSEs and MHAs home early if, you know, there's not enough work, because they gotta have set hours for the regulars. They have to work 8 hours a day, versus a non-career employee, they can only work, they can work up to 4. They can work as low, as 4 hours, you know? So they will send you home versus sending a regular home. Also, what I don't like is the union. I feel like the union low-key is a scam, because most of the union reps and the shop stewards are cool with the supervisors. So it's hard for you to come to them and be like, okay, I have a problem with Miss Bernadette, and the shop steward or the union rep are cool with Miss Bernadette. So they're like, oh, okay, I'll handle it, but really they're not doing nothing. You pay the union rep to represent you. They're supposed to be on your side, but yet they're not really never on your side. Like, you always tell them what you can't do, and don't let you be a non-career employee. As soon as they'll tell you this, they're like, no, they're not supposed to do that. No, who told you that? No, no. And then they be like, oh, you're a regular employee, or you know, you're not career. As soon as you say not career, their whole attitude change. The whole conversation change. It's like, oh, well, you know, well, I can, well, you know, like, the whole conversation changed. It is good. Some people become regular quicker than others. I feel like you don't really get to develop in the post office as much as they say you get to. I really feel like you don't, because everything goes by seniority. So if people have been there for 5 years, if I have been in, like when I was a mail carrier, I have been in the office where a person was a CCA for literally 4 years and they have not yet became a regular, because there's so many other regulars and they only get a certain amount of people. You know what I'm saying? So like you gotta wait until someone leave for you to come up. You know what I'm saying? And people don't want to leave their jobs. Like the one guy at the damn plant is damn 82 years old. Like, what are you still doing here, sir? Like, what are you still doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like a lot of them don't leave their positions. And it's in some situations when you work in a plant, I feel like the plants are much easier to, you become regular. And when you become regular in a plant, you can decide to stay or you can decide to go somewhere else. But I feel like it's much easier to become regular in a plant than versus the office, because it's so much smaller and people are not really going to leave anytime soon. Versus the plant, people are coming in and out of there all the time. So it's easier to become regular. I think the earliest I have seen somebody turn around in a plant is like 8 months. Sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's a year and some change. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, the turning around time can be quick to become regular, but it can be very long too. Like I said, it can be years until you become regular. And you start your probation all over again. Anytime you move, anytime you do anything different, anytime you change your craft, your 90 days starts over, which sucks, but it starts over. I have had some bad experience with the post office in the recent years. I recently went from being a mail carrier to an MHA, and because I quit and then I came back, so that's why I had to start all over again. So I wasn't a career employee no more, so I was just a mail handler, an MHA. And I went to a whole month without getting paid because they kept taking us in and out the system. They kept forgetting. I have had a check that bounced, like literally bounced from the post office. I have had people who have checks that have bounced, other people who have checks that have bounced, people who still have not gotten money from last year, from months ago. They constantly have an issue with their system when people are falling out of the system and they have to put them back in the system. And anytime they put you back in the system, your time starts over. So you have supposed to have a 5-day break in your year. So this month will be my 5-day break. But because there was a problem with the system, I got kicked out the system. So now I don't get my 5-day break until next year of July, because I was kicked out the system. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like every time you get kicked out of the system, you start over. And when you start over, you basically have to do your 90 days all over again. Which sucks, because they don't really want you to go out. They don't want you to call out. They don't want you to do anything in those 90 days, or they will fire you. That's easy for you to get fired in those 90 days. Once you pass those 90 days, it's really nothing they can do. They can't really touch you. All they can do is just write you up, give you PDIs, or try to get you removed. And even if they give you a letter of removal, it still takes time before it actually goes into effect. Like it can take up to a year or a few months for it to take into effect. Like I said, you can always get your job back. It's a lot of things that I just do not like about the post office. And if you are growing, if you're trying to like, you know, go to school like I am, they really don't want to work with you with your schedule. Like they can just change your shift out of nowhere because it's for the company's needs. And like I said, a lot of supervisors, they feel like they are gods and they do things very unethical. They can be very rude, they can be very disrespectful, but they don't care because they're supervisors. And a lot of people don't care because they are supervisors. And that sucks. You know what I'm saying? You spend a lot of time talking to the EO or the shop stewards or the union reps because management really freaking sucks. They're horrible, literally. They're horrible. Like I said, I've been over, I can say like maybe 15, 20 offices. Like it's rare when you find a supervisor who's literally just that, a supervisor. Not trying to be a mom, not trying to be a dad, not yelling and screaming at you, not cursing you out, not trying to fight you. Like when my last office last year when I was in, postal police was there so much so much that they literally just put a car in front of the post office. Like, that's how bad it was with this postmaster. Like, she would curse and yell and scream at people to the point where they literally wanted to knock her head off her shoulders. Instead of the postman having to zoom down there, they said, you know what? We'll just sit here. Just poke your head out when there's a problem. We'll come in. Like, that's how bad it was. And you don't want to deal with stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Recently, I had a couple of deaths back to back in April, and I was taking time off, you know, to handle things and, you know, dealing with my emotions. And my supervisor literally told me that I was lying, that I was literally making up these deaths so that I can go hang out. So apparently I must have sat down, made obituaries, did all this. I'm crying, I'm so sad. And I'm just doing this just to stay home. If I did not want to be here, I could have just called out. I didn't have to kill someone to not be here. Like, that's ridiculous. But yeah, so it's just a lot of, it's just, I have tried the post office and approached this thing so many different angles. I tried to be friendly. I tried to be over friendly. I tried to be laid back. I tried to be invisible. It does not work, okay? You have people, and I was just talking to my therapist yesterday. The good thing about, like I said, a good thing with the post office, you get like a lot of benefits. And they have like therapists you can talk to, and I like talking to these therapists because they know the job. You know what I'm saying? They work for the post office, they know the job. And everything's confidential, like regular therapists. They can't say anything, nobody can't tell you, like, you know, nothing like that. And she was saying that a lot of times they feel like when you are not talkative, it's like you're being disrespectful, or you're being like you think you're better than others. That's how they take it. Not just looking at it like, okay, this is a person that wants to come to work and does not have time for the shenanigans, don't want to be in the drama. She just want to come to work and work. But they look at it as like, oh, she thinks she better than us. Why she can't talk to us? Why she not interacting with us? You know what I'm saying? And that is fucking weird. Like, we're grown. Why do I have to know about your tea? Why do I care about your grandchildren? Why do I care what you did this weekend? Why do I care about your boyfriend cheating on you for the 18th time this year? I don't care. I didn't come here for that. I came here to do my job, get my money, and go home. That's what I came here for. But it's real cliquey. That's one thing I can tell you. You would not expect that from the oldest people on the planet. The post office is very cliquey. There's a lot of older people there, and they've been there for so long that they feel like they are superior to you, and they get very territorial. They don't want you helping them. They don't want you touching their stuff. They don't want you nowhere near, nowhere around them. It gets very territorial. But not everyone is like that. You do have some really cool people. Like, I had met this older lady, and that was my homegirl. Like, I was like, dang, where is Shirley? Like, that's my girl. Why she off today? You know what I'm saying? You do meet real cool, genuine people, but that's rare because everybody is real cliquey. You know, everybody is problematic, and they really get offended when you're not willing to tell them things about you. Like, I remember when I just had my son, and this co-worker, she wanted to see pictures of my son, and I told her no. I was like, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And she literally went to the management and was complaining about me, saying that I was hard to work with because I didn't want to show her pictures of my newborn child. So you get that a lot, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, there are some good benefits about it, but I feel like it's something that you really have to think about because you're going to be spending a lot of your time at the post office. And they can, especially if you're a CCA, they can tell you like, you're not gonna have a day off this week. We need you to do that. So you gotta be kind of like on demand. So you have to think about that. Like, this is a very high demand job, and they expect you to do your job. You know what I'm saying? I know the post office is not for me. I just recently quit again. And that's a whole nother story I will tell you guys about in another video. But I want you to think about it. Listen to what I said. If you have an outside life, if you have friends, you have family, you have a spouse, you have kids, you really have to think about it because the post office do not work around your time. They work around the needs of the mail, the needs of the business. So you have to think about that, okay? They can change your shift. Like, I was working in a plant, I was working day shift. I came in one day for my day shift. They said, hey, you're now working a night shift, go home. They don't tell you weeks in advance. They don't tell you hours. They don't do that. They tell you right then and there. You know what I'm saying? They tell you the day of that this is a change. And they do that as a tactic of theirs. They do that because they want you to quit. They want you to quit and bring in people that actually want the job. That's their tactic. I don't know if that's what they like to do. They like to make you quit so they can bring in people that actually want the job. I don't know how that makes sense, but that's just their logic. I don't know. I don't make the rules here. That's their logic. Like I said, I have been a CCA, I have been an MHA, I have been a PSC, I have been a regular employee, I have been a non-career employee. When you're a regular employee, it's kind of less stressful because they can't really bother you without getting all the people up top involved, you know. But when you're a non-career employee, they will literally drive you insane because they know that they can. And they really want you to quit because like I said, they really want people that really want the job to be there. You know what I'm saying? And they take being a career employee very serious. So they don't just hand it out like you become a regular, you become a regular, you become regular, you become regular, everybody become a regular. No, it's not like that. Like they make that is like a top high class VIP section. You know what I'm saying? So if you get that offer, it's because they honestly feel like you deserve it. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to think about. So please think about it. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. I will run and run far as hell. But the money is good. Okay guys, so that's all I have for you today. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And leave down in the comments, because the comments are always open. Have you worked for the post office before? If so, what was your title? What was your craft? How did you like it? Are you still employed? What was the highs? What was the lows? Let's talk about it. And give some advice. You might have somebody that's interested and need to know a little bit more information. Okay? So I will see you guys all later. See you in my next video. Bye.